everybody, it's Mrs. Clark again. We're ready for our AR popcorn party in a bag. Yay! You all read so many books this year, and we did not get our popcorn party on at school. So I gave you a popcorn party in a bag. You will need your parents' help. You have a 1/4 cup of popcorn, regular yellow popcorn in a bag. You will need a tablespoon measuring spoon. You have 3 plastic baggies that you will need. Altogether, you will be making, each baggie has 1 color. When you get done, you should have 4 baggies and 4 colors. You may choose whatever colors you want. The container of food coloring that I gave you has 4 colors. But if you look on the back, there are descriptions on how to make the other colors. If you wanted to do purple, then you would do 5 red drops and 15 blue drops. And I am looking on the egg dyeing. They have cake, they have icing, and they have egg dyeing. And you want to use the egg dyeing mixtures. So if I wanted purple, like I made purple, I would have 5 red and 15 blue drops in there to make the purple. And I've made purple, and I've made red, and I've made blue. So once you have your baggies open and you have your tablespoon, I like to fold back the baggies so that they sit on their own and I don't spill my kernels of corn. Each piece of corn is called a kernel. Starts with a K, not a C. So I take 1 tablespoon, I get out the corn, carefully put it in a baggie. I carefully take another spoonful out of this bag, and I put it in the next baggie. And I do that with the last baggie as well. Altogether, there will be 4 bags with corn in it. The 1 baggie that you're dipping out of, that bag is also going to have some corn left in it, and it should be a tablespoon full of corn. All right, I take and unroll the Ziploc bag. This part can get messy. Food coloring will stain, so don't go crazy with it and get it all over you because it will stain. So I take the lid off. This one I'm going to make green, and I'm going to start with 10 drops of green food coloring. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You're not going to press too hard. When you do that, you'll squirt it all in and it will come out like a water fountain. You don't want that. So you're going to Ziploc the bag so you don't get it all over you and the counter in the kitchen. And I would suggest doing this all in the kitchen. You're going to get all that food coloring and the corn into a corner of your bag and mush it all together. Now, if I hold it close to the camera, you're going to see that not all the kernels are totally green. And I want totally green, so I'm going to have 10 more drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If you accidentally squirt it in the bag, not going to be a problem. So I would just be careful. Okay, so I'm going to shake it. I'm going to move it with my hands. And when I think they've all been covered in the green food coloring, I'm going to open this a little bit to let some of the air out, and I'm going to set it on the counter to dry. Then I'm going to take my next baggie and I'm going to fill it with the color. Do the same thing until all your baggies have some corn in it and all your baggies are colored and dried. The next part is the popcorn box that you have. So you have a flat popcorn box. Okay. I like to put my hands on each side, the diagonal side, so one right across from the other, and I'm going to push until it makes a click sound or until it's flat on the bottom. So you might have to push your hand in there. You might have to wiggle it around until it stays up and it is completely a box. You see how it's flat? It's ready to go. So here's your popcorn box. We'll need this later after you cook your popcorn and you can eat and watch a movie like Frozen 2. Okay? Or if you've been listening to Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you can watch Charlie and eat your popcorn too. In a few minutes, I'm going to show you how to cook the corn. You will need a parent's supervision. You will need to have them help you. I'll show you. You should watch it a couple times, the part where we cook it, and you should do it with your parent. You can show them the video as well, and then you could cook it. Your parents might already know how to do this, and that's okay too. You're going to use these colored kernels when they're dry, and you're going to pop them, and there'll be colorful popcorn in your box ready for your movie. Stay tuned. We'll be ready for the next part in a few minutes. Hi, now we're ready to cook our popcorn. All right? So you saw all the things that we need. We need a pan with a lid, we need our popcorn, and we need oil. So using the tablespoon, I've already put 1 tablespoon of oil in there. I will put another tablespoon, fill it up to the top, another tablespoon, so there's 2 tablespoons of oil in there. Here I have all of our popcorn. You see the red, the purple, the blue, and the green, and I have them all separated. And now the fun part, I'm going to mix it all up. You can tell my green wasn't as dry as I hoped for. Mix it all up. And I'm going to take this over. I'm going to scoop all these different colors up. And I'm going to put them in my pan. And I'm going to take another scoopful and put it in my pan. I'm going to move it around in my pan. I should have enough oil on the bottom to cover the bottom. And if I have enough to cover the bottom, I should be able to put more corn in there. So let's see how many we can put. There's 3 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons. Let's shake it around and make sure it's good. And that looks like plenty. Now, your parents need to help with this. You want to get all the other stuff off the stove. You're going to put the stove on. I like to keep the handle in so that nobody can grab it, no little kids can grab it. I'm going to turn the stove onto medium-high heat. So that'll be about, on mine I have 6, 7, 8, and then high. So I just want it on about a 7 or an 8. But oh, Mrs. Clark, get that lid back on there. I need the lid on there, and I need to leave it on there until I hear it start to pop and hit the top of my pan. It will probably take a couple minutes, so don't leave the pan on the stove during this time. And don't take the lid off. When you hear it hitting the pan lid, then you're going to hold the pan lid on and you're going to shake it. I'll show you that as soon as mine starts popping. While we're waiting, the oil is heating up. Each kernel of corn has a little bit of moisture, a little bit of water in it. The oil is going to heat up and keep the corn from burning on the bottom. It's going to heat up that little tiny piece of moisture inside the corn. And when the steam gets built up so much that the corn can't hold it any longer, it pops open and you have popcorn. The white fluffy stuff that you eat is the corn on the inside. So far it's only been about 1 minute and 26 seconds, and I can hear inside my pan the oil crackling and getting hot. So I might give it a little bitty shake. All right, now here's the popcorn up close. Now the white part, I told you, was inside that kernel, and then the steam opened it up and it popped out. So the white part is not going to be colored, but the kernel itself, the hard part that you don't always eat, do you see that one is red on the inside? This one looks like a green or a purple one, and it does look like the corn is a little bit colored. It's not exactly completely white here. This one is a blue one. So all of these have different kernel colors in there, and you can test out different colors all that you want. You have a whole box of colors, and you don't have to use it all. You can get some more popcorn at the store. Now, I don't know if you are like me, then you might like some butter on your popcorn. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So we're ready for the butter. I have my butter container. I don't like a huge amount of butter. I just like that looks like about a tablespoon. If I were to fill up this spoon, that would probably fill up that spoon. So I put it in my pan that I just got finished cooking the popcorn with. I don't need to turn on the stove. My pan is still hot. Do you see how it's bubbling down there? It's going to melt this butter. It's going to melt the butter. And when the butter is melted, we'll just pour it on the top of our box. Almost there. Just keep stirring it. You can get a spoon out and stir it. It's really not necessary. Okay, now I have all the butter. I'm going to take this butter and I'm going to pour it on my popcorn. Not all in one place. Going to go around. It's called drizzling. We're going to drizzle it over it. Done. Now I'm going to take my hands. Be careful because your popcorn might be hot. Stir it up. I also like salt on mine, so I'm going to salt it. I'm not going to salt it a whole bunch because the popcorn has butter on it and the salt will stick to the butter, and if you have too much salt, it won't be great. All right, now we're going to put it on our container. All right, I've got my popcorn container now. I'm going to carefully dump some popcorn into my container. Colorful popcorn. And since you are the big reader, if it all fits into your box, well, then you get all the popcorn to yourself. Our AR popcorn party in a bag, all ready for our movie. And I can't wait to see Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or Willy Wonka and eat my popcorn. I hope I don't get scared, because when I get scared, I stuff my mouth. It's not nice to do that, is it? We learned that at Thanksgiving. Do not talk with your mouth full. So I hope you had fun with this. I'm really enjoying the popcorn, that's for sure. I hope you let me know if you enjoyed this, and I hope you let me know what movie that you watched, because you were great readers and you deserve it. Remember, I love you all. Can't wait to see you next year.